Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football, we're live. It's West Ham against Chelsea. Look, I'll be honest, I'm still not quite feeling football the way I did a week ago. I still bruised, I still feel disappointed. Big up Newcastle for the late goal today. Look, it's a difficult one. I mean, tomorrow my club plays and I can't turn my back on Solskjaer and the team, but as a club I'm embarrassed by how we're run and everything like that. And I've got to say, I'm glad West Ham have got Lingard in the team, because as much as I, got a lot to be grateful for Chelsea beating Man City last week and they were one of the first teams to come out of the Super League, I do want West Ham to win. I still feel that those six clubs have let us down, and I do still feel quite sore about it. So I mean, I hope West Ham can get a result tonight. I think Chelsea will. And look, I've got no hate for Chelsea. I mean, my dad supports Chelsea. I don't hate Chelsea. I just feel that those clubs, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, and Spurs, let us all down. And I do feel that still, but I'm not going to want Leeds to win tomorrow, so I've got to get over it at some point. Watford promoted, yeah. I think Norwich are promoted as well, aren't they? So big up them. But no, I would like. I mean, look, Liverpool have. I think Liverpool are. Well, we're going to talk about that. That's what we're here for tonight, isn't it? It's West Ham against Chelsea. It's a massive game. I was looking forward to this one a couple of weeks. It's been a rough week, but it's my birthday. Says Red Harlow. Happy birthday, Red Harlow. But yeah, it's been a rough week. I think this is the first time I've been live today, actually. It's weird to be live first time after 5 o'clock. There is an 8 o'clock show tonight. Sean, why didn't you attend the protest? Last time I checked, this isn't the United Stand, Sean. If you want the answer to that, you can ask it me on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. I'm here to watch West Ham versus Chelsea. So I will talk about Manchester United and what's going on with that on the United Stand. Thank you very much. I'm not turning it into that sort of show, basically. So, the West Ham side, Fabianski, Diop, Balbuna, Ogbonna, Kufal, Noble, Soucek, Fredericks, Fornells, Lingard and Bowen. Obviously, they've got no Antonio at the moment. They've got no Cresswell at the moment. They've got no Rice at the moment. And then Chelsea, Mendy, Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Azpilicueta, Kante, Jorginho, Chilwell, Mount, Pulisic and Werner. So nice to see Pulisic starting. And Kante and Jorginho in the midfield. Still no Kovacic. He's still out, injured as well. Their bench, of course, for Chelsea is full of talent. But look, I think the most exciting thing about this is that as a Manchester United fan, I sit and look at that league table and see that Manchester United are 11 points clear of 4th place. And we're 7 points clear of 3rd place. So Man United are getting top 4. We're out of it. Leicester, 3rd and 4th is what's up for grabs. Leicester can get pulled into this race. 59 points for Leicester. 6 games to go. I heard Klopp being quite defensive, saying, we've got to go to Manchester United, so top 4 is difficult. I mean, look, realistically, Liverpool have got 54 points and they're only 1 point off 4th place at the moment. If Chelsea and West Ham were to draw, they'd be 2 points off 4th at the moment. So I don't think Liverpool are out of this race at all. I think Klopp is playing it down, but what I would say is that Liverpool have drawn their last 2 games. They've taken 2 points from 6. Drew against Leeds, drew against Newcastle. That is surprising. They're out of the Champions League, and Liverpool are in a bit of problems because, look, you're not retired if you finish in the Premier. If you're in the Europa League next year, United have done it. Arsenal do it every year. So it's not the end of Liverpool for being in the Europa League, but it is a big loss for them to not be in the Champions League next year. I don't think Liverpool are out of the race yet, but I do think if Chelsea can win tonight, it almost starts to look like the top 4 as it is at the moment. Man City, Man United, Leicester, Chelsea. I mean, look, technically Spurs are back in a top 4 race. If this ends in a draw, Spurs are only 3 points off 4th again. I don't know how many opportunities Spurs are going to get into top 4. I don't even know why Spurs are even in a top 4 race. I think the season Spurs have had, how are they in a top 4 race? But again, I think it's very, very clear that, to me, normally, if you want top 4, you're looking at around 70 points. Well, this year, we've got, 5 or 6 games left. That's 15, 18 points. It's not going to be 70 points, is it? if you get 70 points, you're definitely going to get top 4 this season. But I think you're going to get top 4 with maybe 65. Again, like what happened last year with United and Chelsea. So maybe Tottenham are in it. Maybe they are. But yeah, Newcastle and Liverpool drawing at weekend like, and we've got this big game tonight. And I think for West Ham, you look at it and you think, what's going to happen there then? What is going to happen there? I don't know why Spurs aren't playing this weekend. For some reason, I can't see Spurs playing this weekend. They've played a game. Oh yeah, because they're playing in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. Idiot. They're playing in the Carabao Cup tomorrow. Right, a couple of super chats to read. Hey Mark, hope you're doing well. Big game after Liverpool drawing the 3rd and 4th places up for grabs, says Big Nick. Look, you know what? For me, it's very rare that United are in this situation. I think we've got the Europa League next week. We've got Leeds tomorrow, Liverpool the week after. Good, interesting games, but we've got a very big cushion in relation to top 4. So I'm happy with where United are. Notice how the Glazers didn't leak out about the Super League like they did with the looking at getting Poch in. They know we'd hate it and went ahead anyway, says Joshua Bowater. Definitely. I think the interesting thing is Liverpool's run-in is rather, after Manchester United, Liverpool's run-in, you could see them going on a good run. Chelsea do not have a good run-in. They've got, I felt that Chelsea, especially with the Champions League, they've got the squad to deal with the Champions League, Chelsea, definitely. But their run-in is Fulham, Man City, Arsenal, Leicester and Villa. So they've got a tough run-in, definitely. West Ham's run-in is not so much. I mean, look, West Ham's West Ham, so you can't say, oh, West Ham are going to win this, West Ham are going to win that. But their run-in is reasonable. They've got Burnley, Everton, Brighton, West Brom, Southampton. So from from West Ham's point of view, you could see a scenario where they do put on a fight. But this game is huge. It's absolutely huge, this game. If Chelsea win it, and I think they sort of have to win it after drawing against Brighton in the week. If Chelsea win it, it gives them something to, hold on to, that 4th place spot. If West Ham win it, well, we could have a real cat amongst the pigeons. But as we know, West Ham are a little bit weakened tonight with a few injuries. Who's your favourite footballer? Says Mark. Mine's Rashford. Okay. I don't really have a favourite footballer, really. I appreciate, I do have favourite footballers, but I don't really have one favourite. You sleepy, Mark, says Advath. Not really. Friday night I always have a few drinks, so probably just a little bit, but not too bad. Not too bad. My daughter was playing football this morning, 0-0. But it was a good 0-0 though, to be fair. Grand Theft Auto tonight? Nope. It'll be back. I don't know when it's back. I think it'll be back tomorrow night or Monday night. But not tonight. Not tonight. Right, Mark. What's your prediction for who will make the Champions League final? Who do you think will win it? Aaron, my feeling towards the Champions League final at the moment is do you want PSG to win it because they weren't one of the 6? But I think that's a silly argument. PSG would have been in the Super League if they weren't tied into the Qatar World Cup, which is FIFA. So I don't think PSG are the great hope of football. I still think that PSG are I think there was a reason for that. So I don't want Man City to win it because I think it'll be funny if Man City don't win a Champions League, so I don't want Man City to win it. But I don't know. I don't really have a. I mean, I do not want Real Madrid to win it, and I haven't really got a problem with Real Madrid. I haven't really got a problem with Real Madrid, but I just cannot stand Florentino Perez. I just think he's an enemy of football, so I don't really want Real Madrid to win it. Chelsea, it's difficult. Who do you want to win it out of those 4 teams? It is difficult. I'd probably say I don't really want an English club to win it because of my rivalry with an English club. But I'd say I don't really want PSG to win it. I don't want Real Madrid to win it. So it'd probably be Chelsea or PSG for me. Yeah. Maybe Chelsea because they knocked out Man City of the FA Cup to stop them doing the treble, which was I'm very, very grateful for because United couldn't do it. Maybe PSG. I don't know why PSG. Maybe because they're not one of the 12 clubs that tried to destroy football. It may well be that simple, but they will be happening this week. We've got watch-alongs for both of those, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I'm just getting the timer ready, in fact. You're all very welcome on this channel. We've had some mad streams this week. And really have enjoyed it. So big thanks to everyone who's got involved, and make sure you do subscribe. It is for everybody, and I think we've seen that this week, that it is for everybody, because obviously football has been impacted this week, as we've seen. So really big thanks for that. And please do subscribe. We're getting very close to 384,000. We're on the road to 400k. Can we do it before the end of the season? I think we might be able to. Yeah, we might be able to. We'll see. Okay. Get this on. So a couple of minutes away from kick-off. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that was a big one. That was a big one. That's what she said. It was a big sneeze. It was a really big sneeze. Right, so we are nearly ready to go here. Mark, which teams would you like to see in top 4 this season? I'm a United fan, but would love to see West Ham in the Champions League this summer. I'd love to see West Ham in the Champions League. I would like to see West Ham in the Champions League. I don't think Manchester United have got any chance of buying Declan Rice, so I don't subscribe to that view. And also, I think that view is very elitist, isn't it? And what we have seen this week is elitism to a level that is disgusting. So, for me to sit here as a United fan and say, oh, I hope West Ham don't get the Champions League spot because we might sign Declan Rice. We won't sign Declan Rice anyway. So I hope that West Ham do get Champions League football. And obviously Lingard's there at the moment, so there is that United connection. So I hope West Ham do. I don't think it's impossible. I mean, look, I would predict it probably won't happen. And the only reason I would predict that is because obviously I expect Chelsea. I still think Leicester might need to be a little bit careful, even though they've got a bit of gap. Why don't you want City to win it since Centurion's 100 points? Probably because out of all the clubs that are left, City are the biggest rival. And I think when City win a Champions League, they can say, well, we've won everything now. So I just think it's quite funny that City haven't won a Champions League. So yeah, I don't despise City. I don't despise City. I think that, you know, those arguments that maybe I had a week ago are somewhat redundant after what my football's club's done. But FIFA will be back on Monday. Definitely back on Monday. Yeah, and I'm continuing with the Super League. Mark, which team have done that one? So which teams would I like to see get top 4? Probably like to see, well, obviously it's going to be Man City and Man United, so it's pick your other two. I would say Leicester and West Ham would be quite interesting. Right, we're about to kick off. I thought the angle of the camera there, I thought Werner was about to take a free kick, and I was like, how can he be taking a free kick? We've not even kicked off right yet, but we are ready now, and let's have a look. Come on, ref. The bubbles are on the pitch, and Werner kicks it off. So, score predictions for this game. I've not given you my score prediction yet. I'm going to go with I think it will be 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea I'm going to go with. Ezra says Chelsea will win this easy, and that's annoying. Well, I don't know. West Ham haven't got a terrible record against Chelsea, have they? I think didn't they get a draw last season against Lampard late on? Kay says they'd rather City win it. Every other team that they can't despise for some reason. Do you want to scrap outside Lidl? Only joking, says H. And I'll be talking about the protest on the United stand later on Sunday, so I don't want to get into that because I will be talking a lot about that on the United stand tonight. So I don't want to sort of repeat content, if that makes any sense. I don't go in for UK gold. A lot of people saying 3-2. I hope it is 3-2. It was 3-2 last season with West Ham. Yeah, they were 2-1 down. That I can't sort of remember it. Yeah. But Lingard's playing really well at the moment, and Declan Rice is a miss, but I think Soucek, obviously he's playing, and Mark Noble, always capable of doing a job for them. They do miss having Antonio, but I quite like the way they're playing with the front three, West Ham, with Bowen and Fornells and Lingard. In some ways, I think that's not a bad idea because it gives them that mobility and flair up front. So yeah, bye Jason. Thanks for the super chat. Won't be reading you out. Divide. See, this is what people want to do. They want to divide. What happened to Antonio? I don't know. I just know he's not playing. I don't know whether he must have an injury, I suppose. Yeah, rest in peace, Jason. We hardly knew you. Crossed him to the box there, and Fabianski's got his hands on it. Have you changed your opinion on Tuchel yet? Says Annie. No, I stand by what I said. I don't think he'll be Chelsea manager in 18 months. Yeah, 18 months. Because 18 months would put us into sort of February October. So it's basically 2 seasons' time, isn't it? I don't think he'll be able to win the league with Chelsea. And I think, as we've seen with Abramovich, I'm not saying that means Tuchel's a bad manager, but I don't think he'll be able to win the league with Chelsea, and therefore we know what Abramovich is like. I think he's done a very good job. Although I did read an interesting stat that when Lampard was sacked, he was closer to Manchester United in the league than Tuchel is now. But this is where stats and things can be very misleading because they might be further behind Manchester United in the league, but they are in an FA Cup final and a Champions League semi-final. And they're very much still in a top 4 race. Chelsea could end up with nothing. Chelsea could end up with nothing this season and in the Europa League, or they could end up with an FA Cup, a Champions League, and top 4. So, still all to play for with Tuchel. Souček has been so important for this team, gives Rice the opportunity to get further forward and make those passes through the lines, says Vignesh. Through the lines. Well, there's a chance here for Chelsea. Mount with a very, very good cross. Werner in the box. Not a great chance, but he's free. He should be hitting the target. And there is a guy who just doesn't have the confidence, does he? I mean, it's not a sitter from Werner there, but it certainly is one where if you've scored 30 goals... I mean, look, I'll do it before anyone else reminds me. I predicted Werner was going to be Golden Boot winner this year. Advath says that Antonio is injured and he's very injury prone. Do you think Messi will still go to City, says Hassan? I think anything's possible this summer, I think football is such a mess in that sense. Anything is possible. Oh, that sneeze has really messed me up. Oh, I've gone all nasal. I hate it. Mark, did you see Chelsea's message to the fans? Re-ESL, it seems sincere, but I'm not ready to forgive and definitely not going to forget, says it's Dan. Wait a minute. Chance for a cross from Aspilicueta. Headed away. I think it was Ogbonna. Who do you think is a better crosser, Trent Arnold or Alex Telles? Both are among the best crossers in my opinion, says Sumya. Oh, I've gone really nasal. It's getting on my bloody nerves. In relation to forgiving the clubs, as a Chelsea fan, you've got to decide what you want to do. And I think Man City fans are the same. Arsenal, as we saw last night, definitely want their fans out. Manchester United, as we saw today, and what we're going to see over coming weeks, definitely want the Glazers out as well. Liverpool, I don't know what they're up to. Spurs, don't know what they're up to. But as a football fan, and that's football, and that's football is for everybody. I personally think that all owners should go. I think they've all been deceptive, but I can't sit here and say get the Chelsea owners out because I'm not a Chelsea fan, and Chelsea fans will say it's none of your business. We want him to stay. Yes, apologies have come in, but ultimately, I think for every apology that's come in, if they could have got away with it, we'd still be in the Super League. And I don't care whether that's Man United, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, whatever. I think if they could have got away with it, they would have done. And I think what happened is they made huge errors, and it's if you want to forgive them for that. In relation to my club, Manchester United, 100%, they signed that behind everybody's back. And they've only ended up out of it because clubs came out of it. I don't think Man United would have come out of it if Chelsea and Man City hadn't. So, you know, Mark, the media are saying that this is not the end of the Super League. Your thoughts, says Dan? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think that they will come back again. Hi Mark, give a shout out to my grandma living the life in big old America. Finally released after 30 years behind bars and excited about Leeds tomorrow, says Jim. Shahid, with probably the stupidest comment of the week, says the owners own the club you support, it's not your club. Well, in an entity point of view, I suppose you're right. But when you've got owners who own Manchester United and they know nothing about the club, then you know they've just simply bought it to bring it into debt. They may physically own the club, but it's not their club. I would argue with that. It's not their club. You can own something and have no idea about what it is. So look, maybe technically you're right, but and look, this is the problem that many fans have got at the moment. But I disagree. I think that as football fans, you feel you have more ownership over a club if you love the club and you understand what it's all about. Mark, you want the top owners to go, but what happens if Glazers stay, Kroenke goes, and we get someone who makes us finish higher than you? That's probably one of the least of my concerns at the moment, Zane. As I said at the start of the week, and I'll repeat it again, I'd be willing to go bankrupt and drop down a couple of leagues to get rid of the Glazers if it meant that the club was in the right hands. You know, then you're going to finish above us, aren't you? You know, there may be some long-term pain to get some long-term gain. It might be that Manchester United have to hold on, West Ham, Bowen. Oh, he's held on for that for too long. Lingard. They sort of blew that there. They had a good chance on the break, and Bowen held on for too long and then gave it to Lingard. It was a beautiful atmosphere at Old Trafford, says Palmarius. And hello, Mark. How are you, mate? Hope you're well, says PJ Pennington. I'm all right, apart from sneezing just before I went live, and now it's messed up my whole nose. But look, to remove your owners, you've got to make their life difficult in a business sense. And I think that maybe making their life difficult in a business sense, for example, for an Arsenal and a Manchester United, who seem to be the two who desperately want to get rid of their owners, you might not have to big up the new kit, and you might not have to buy the new kit, and you might have to come up with ways that are going to cause them financial pain. And if they've got financial pain, they're not going to buy new players, are they? So, as I said, there might be some pain to get long gain. That sounds a bit wrong. I'm going to drink some water. That's a good idea. Mount is so good. Well, he got a shot off there, but it's straight at Fabianski. I do have sinus problems. I was fine. I had a big sneeze, and now it's just all messed up. Sane, I didn't see you at the Emirates yesterday. Where was you, mate? Supposed to be die-hard Gooner, says H. Zane out. And come on, Chelsea, says Ibi. Apparently, Isa says that Chelsea are playing 2 games on the same day, 1 o'clock and 5:30. Well, it's probably because scheduling, mate. They've probably not realised that yet. I know what that is. They're not playing 2 games in 2 days. It's because it's the cup final, isn't it? So they'll move the league game. They just haven't redone the league fixtures yet. Mark, there will be less super chats going forward, as we'll be putting it towards shares when Arsenal fans get part ownership of Arsenal, says Zane. I thought you were having a big new rich owner. The news leaking regarding the Super League before the Paris statement gave fans a head start, enabled us to prepare unity with all Glazers out, says Dane Grayson. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. I've got a corner to West Ham here. Massive game this in the top 4 race. Chelsea and West Ham on 55 points, 4th and 5th. Liverpool drawing earlier today. They're a point behind. So Liverpool will be hoping for a draw here. As will Spurs, who are only 3 points behind 4th place if this is a draw. So really interesting race for 4th. Leicester with a bit... Oh, what a ball that is by Mount. He really is. Like the person said before, he's a fantastic player. Here's Chilwell. What a season he's had for Chelsea. What a season. Just a bit on Liverpool, by the way. The Mirror, well, there you go. They're saying that there's a few potential bidders looking at Liverpool if they decide to sell. And apparently there's been a bid of almost 3 billion for Liverpool already. But again, it's coming from the Mirror, so I don't know whether I would necessarily hold that as a truth. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true. But we will see. I mean, look, I said it the other night, I'll say it again. I think there will be... I think there will be changes at clubs, definitely. And as I said the other night, you know, fair play to the club that gets rid of their owner first out of the top 6. But effectively, it won't be Chelsea and Man City. And as I said, I don't know what the situation is. I mean, Manchester United, we had a protest today. I'm sure some of you saw it on the United stand, the footage of it, and that was an unorganised protest in the sense that it you can't organise a protest in a couple of days, and you can't organise a proper protest just off Twitter. So the one that we're looking to do a week tomorrow, there's still loads to be done in relation to organising that, and you will see the difference when I say between an unorganised and an organised protest, and that takes nothing away from the one today that was very, very good. But if you look at it compared to what Spurs did, I mean, the one that Spurs did on Friday night looked like a Poundland Busted concert. There was somebody with there was more band members than there were people. It was shocking. The Arsenal one last night was very, very good. I don't know whether Liverpool have got one planned, and obviously Man City and Chelsea don't appear to have. They're very happy with their owners. So the way I read it at the moment, and I don't know whether I'm right here, West Ham on the break again. Go on then. He's into the box, crosses it in. Crap cross from Fredericks. The way I read it at the moment is that you've got Manchester United pushing hard to get rid of their owners, Arsenal pushing hard to get rid of their owners. I don't know what Liverpool are doing. I don't know what Spurs are doing. Chelsea and Man City are happy. So if anyone can tell me anything different to that, I'd like to know. Pablo says, need some knowledge. Were Chelsea a nothing club before Abramovich? Could we put Chelsea in the same category with Man City? Yes, Pablo, you could. And block the bus fans, sit down on pitch when fans back, get as many home games abandoned even if we lose points in European football, says Night Dump. Perez, binding contracts, comments, is he trying to become the world's first supervillain? He'll say he's against vaccines next. You know what it is with Perez? I said this even when the Super League hadn't been cancelled. When I first saw his interview, was it Monday or Tuesday night? He's goal! Cut back cross towards Pulisic, straight at the keeper. I thought that was a goal. He's a very arrogant man, and he definitely believes himself. Lovely run by Werner down the channel. Holds it. Nice cross in to Pulisic, and he shoots straight at the keeper from about 15 yards out. He's not in a one-on-one. It's just a decent chance and straight at the keeper. So, yeah, I think that I said it about Perez. He's not going to sit down and go, I was wrong, I got it wrong, I'm going to forget about my idea now. I think he'll be even more revitalised to win. He's a businessman, isn't he? He will want to win. I think he will come back. Apparently he's the godfather of Mino Raiola, but that can't be true. Mino Raiola must be about the same age as Florentino Perez. Sparky says Chelsea £100 million in debt and bought for 20 million. Without that, they would have gone into administration. Abramovich wanted to buy United, but they were too expensive. There you go. I mean, Chelsea before Abramovich, when I think about Chelsea, I remember Chelsea got beat. You sometimes see that picture about Chelsea, don't you? Didn't they get beat like 7-2 or something like that by Forest in the late 80s or 90s or something like that, early 90s? Chelsea were like people like Frank Sinclair, Gavin Peacock, David Speedy, Robert Fleck, Dennis Wise. You know, Chelsea were probably a little bit like a Southampton sort of, not in the way they play, but that sort of level before money. That's where Chelsea were. They were sort of a mid-table Premier League. Well, they weren't Premier League really, Division 1. So, you know, money's made Chelsea into a big club, but it's a long time. They've had money for a long time, Chelsea. It must be... When did Abramovich buy them? Like 2003, 2004. So, but having said that, they did have that period of time where they had people like Zola and Hullet and Vialli. And that, I think that was before Abramovich. So that was sort of like the late 90s, wasn't it? So there was something going on at Chelsea before that. I'm not great on Chelsea history, but there was something going on at Chelsea before Abramovich came in. And I don't know what was going on. Maybe that was the debt? Good tackle in the box there on Mount. And West Ham really looking to break here. David Bushnell, thank you very much for the super chat. Oliver Bowen says, think that's harsh. Chelsea weren't the best in the league, but better than mid-table. No, they weren't. Not when I'm thinking about them. Craig Burley played for them, yeah. I think Chelsea must have gone from like the days of sort of Gavin Peacock and people like that to the Hullet, Vialli days and Zola, and then to the Abramovich days. I think that's what happened. So there was sort of a middle. There was a gradual progression with Chelsea. I think that's fair to say. I think sort of early 90s. They'd probably be a sort of mid-table division Premier League side, and then through the 90s they started getting better, and then Abramovich came in and took them to the next level. Who was the owner when they had Zola though? Don, was that still Ken Bates? Ihab says that Kufal, West Ham's right back, is really underrated, and I'd take him at Man United. Well, look, there's a few good players at West Ham this season. You're not 4th or 5th in the league. I think they're 4th, aren't they, at the moment, without, you know, Lingard only came in September. So they're a good team. Moyes has got them playing well. Mark, if there is a plenty fee to get out of the Super League, say it's several $100 million, how could clubs like Tottenham and Arsenal afford to get out, says Yazza. Shout out to my great granddad. He loves your opinions and thinks you're cute, says Abraham. Thank you very much, Abraham. Also Prime Robin or Prime Salah. I think Salah's better than Robin. Chelsea were in the UCL and won FA Cups before Roman under Ranieri, says Rash R. Who was the owner then? And where did they get the money from? Hi Mark, would Modric be in your top 10 midfielders of all time list? I don't know that he would be, Mian, but I don't know why he wouldn't be, if that makes sense. KA says, I'm still unable to send super chats on the United Stand. The missus and I are expecting our first child, a new addition to the United Stand family, so keep the pressure on. Congratulations, KA. And that's great news. That's great news. People don't agree. Well, don't ask me for an opinion and then tell me I'm wrong. What's the point in saying either or and then you don't get the answer you like, so I'm wrong? The thing that they're moaning about is because I've said Salah's better than Robin. You asked me for an honest opinion. Do you think I'd want to pick a Liverpool player? To be honest with you, I think what Salah was doing a couple of years ago, because you said Prime, was insane. And I think there's been a little bit of a drop-off with Salah, but isn't he still one of the top scorers in the Premier League this year, even with that? So, you know, Robben was a very good player, of course he was, but you asked me a question, I'll give you an answer. Werner with a shot just wide. Did you see Gavin Peacock became a priest after he retired? What will Phil Jones become after? Well, he's already retired, really. He's just pretending to be a footballer, isn't it? What was the Super League super chat, Michael? I can't remember what it was. My personal feeling on the Super League is that Perez has said quite a few times, corner to Chelsea here, let's just see what happens with this. And it comes, headed away, and again, and they'll come away with it now, West Ham. My personal feeling about the Super League is that Perez has said on numerous occasions that the contracts signed were binding. So, sound a bit like Noel and Liam, and all the lights were binding, and all the contracts that you signed were binding. So I think that either he's lying or they are binding, and if they are binding, then there's going to be financial ramifications for those clubs that come out. They're not officially out yet either. They've stated an intention to come out, and I just wonder that we think we've won, and have we? If these clubs, maybe they could be persuaded. Maybe we're being played. Has anyone ever thought like this? It was so bad. The reaction was so bad. Why don't we agree? Why don't we say that one or two clubs are coming out of it, and then actually they decide to come back in it again, and we might get back in? You don't know. I don't think it's over anyway. You see that tackle there by Christensen on Soucek? It's a nothing tackle. But imagine if that tackle had caught Soucek on the leg. Yeah, that would have been a red card. And it's never a red card, is it? This is what I mean about these silly tackles they're doing now. Mark, who do you think should be the Premier League Manager of the Year? I think Pep will get it, but Moyes has done a fantastic job and deserves it. Hey, Sumya, I think you made a good point there, mate. I think you make a very, very good point. Pep will win it. I mean, Pep's going to win at least 2 trophies. He'll win the Premier League and he'll win the Carabao Cup. So he deserves to win it. And you know, Man City have been the best side by quite a way. Having said that, I'd say if Moyes gets Champions League football, he deserves it, because how the hell have West Ham got top 4 if that happens? Joe says, I've got a crippling fear that the national debt will continue to be neglected until my country goes bankrupt. Please help us, Economist Bridge. What country is it, Joe? What do you think of Ollie's presser? I thought it was alright. I mean, look, that's a good point. On That's Football, we can answer that. Who do you think has had the best reaction to the whole debacle in relation to the Super League? Because I personally think that Pep at the start of the week came out and was the best. I think Arteta handled it quite well as well. Just saying, you know, fans can say what, you know, fans should be allowed to protest. So there's nothing to blow, David. My nose has just gone very weird since the sneeze. There's nothing up there. There's nothing to blow out. Corner for West Ham. They like a good corner, but Chelsea are very good at corners themselves, and Christensen heads it away. And again, Chelsea come away with it. Lingard into Noble. Oh, lovely play by Noble. Lingard with the cross. And West Ham got caught ball watching, and Chelsea come away with it. It's Mason Mount. Werner's your ball. No, you still got it though, Pulisic. Are you going to the protest on the 2nd of May, Mark? If not, why not? Says Mr. Nostalgia. I've told you I'm not talking about Manchester United stuff on this channel, because it's not fair that we're doing a West Ham versus Chelsea preview. There's an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, and I'm not turning it into a United Stand show. I think I was used to sneak past the news Champions League model, says Idris. Okay, thank you. Martin says, at this stage, Liverpool could potentially end on less points than Moyes in 2014. I mean, Martin, I think any Liverpool fan would say that this season has been an absolute stinker. And the reality is, I thought there was a very good chance that they could come out of this season equaling Manchester United's 20 league titles, and just shows how wrong you can be. They've been absolutely miles off miles and miles off, haven't they? So I think for Liverpool, it's about. I think any Liverpool fan would say if we can get top 4 and we'll just start again next year. That'll do from this point. That for Liverpool, this season can only get worse. Basically, if they could finish top 4, I think they'd be very happy because obviously they're out of all the cups. Their season isn't over because they're in a race for top 4. But I think they just like to get top 4. But they've got Konate coming in, which I think is interesting because what do you think the plan is with Kabak? And obviously you've got Van Dijk. I mean, are they going to sign Kabak? I don't know what's happening with him. I think he's had a reasonably good job. Nice ball over the top, but Mendy's off the line very, very quickly. But I think Kabak's had a good. I think he's done reasonably well coming into those circumstances. But I'm not sure they'd go for both. You got lucky not to concede a goal there, but then you just can't just hold on for just 2 minutes, says Marketing James. Kabak won't stay, says Marvin AM. And I agree with Sakib. I think they do need more attacking players. I do. I think they've. I think they're beyond sort of. I've always said this about Liverpool, and I've always felt it, and I've said it on this channel quite a lot. I think with Liverpool, what a great couple of years they had, where they got to the Champions League final, they pushed Man City all the way to the last day, and then the following season they won the league. But I always felt that they were a couple of key injuries away from being pretty average. And effectively, I think Salah and Mane, with those two gone, what have they really got? So I do think Liverpool do need a... And also, I think when you see Liverpool's bench compared to even a Spurs bench, it's not as good, let alone a Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea and Man City have got amazing squads. Man United, we've got a lot of players... And maybe because I watch us all the time, some people might look at our bench and go, wow, but I don't. I think Chelsea and Man City have got a very, very, very good squads. Liverpool, I don't think have. I think Liverpool do need a bit of quality bringing in, even when they've got their injured players back. Don't you think UEFA should implement tighter financial controls on state-owned clubs like PSG and City? If they don't, big teams will break away soon, says Ethan Cleverly. And hi Mark, how you been doing, mate? Says Angie. Tough times here in Delhi. Appreciated all the efforts against the Super League. Might not agree with your football opinion, but share the passion. Big up Angie, thank you. Hope everything's... Well, apparently things aren't going well in India, are they? I mean, one thing I would say today about the protests and yesterday, it is quite surprising what's going on in the UK at the moment. We are obviously starting to open up again, but let's not forget we have been in a weird year of, social controls and everything, and now it's almost like it's all stopped. You've got thousands of people just congregating and jumping all over each other. It's weird, but then in other areas of the world they're going into big issues. I don't think we're past all this COVID stuff, unfortunately, but hopefully we can work through it. Can't wait for your FIFA Super League and Grand Theft Auto to start again. Seems like a long time, says Sumya. Well, yeah, you can blame the greedy six on that as well. We've missed out on a week of Grand Theft Auto and a week of FIFA because of all this crap that's been going on. But we had to fight it. Are you worried that Man City's academy will become like Man United in the past? City recently bought young players from Brazil, plus they're number 1 in Premier League under 23, says Eugene. Man City's infrastructure is very, very good. I had the misfortune of going to an awards ceremony at the Etihad a couple of years ago. It was my first time at the Etihad, and the facilities and everything is fantastic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they have the Etihad. Then there's a bridge over a road which goes into their training complex, which is fantastic. Werner turns and shoots wide. This game is on Sky, WR11 Games. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We are on the road to 380... No, that's not right. Drawey's got the number wrong there. We're on 383. Well, I don't know why he's got 388 up there. We're on 383,000 and we are 150 away from 384. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Lots for everybody to get involved in on this channel. It is for everybody. It's not club specific. And thank you everybody who watched my video I put up yesterday, Goldbridge Reacts to FIFA Rages. It's had 99.9 thousand views, so it's only 100 away from 100,000. I only put it up last night, so thanks everyone who watched that. Goldbridge reacts to FIFA rages. Much love, everybody. And I think that's a big thank you, not only for that, but for this week in general. It's been a crazy week, but I'm so proud of football in general. It's been an amazing week. And I don't know about you, but I'm sort of like West Ham on the attack here. No, Chelsea got it back. I'm sort of like, I don't know what you're like with your club, but people almost seem to want to get things back to normal. Oh, let's talk about transfers. Oh, let's talk about, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I'm still not feeling that. I'm more than happy to watch a bit of football, but I'm not really in the mood to be like, oh, United are going to sign Varane or something like that. I'm like, no, I'm not ready for that yet, to be fair. There's bigger things to focus on. If Arsenal wins the Europa League and Chelsea wins the Champions League, but Chelsea fails to make it to top four, who will qualify for Champions League next season, next year, Chelsea or Arsenal? Chutia. If Arsenal win the Europa and Chelsea win the Champions League, but Chelsea fails to make it in the top four, who will qualify? Well, Arsenal will go into the Champions League if they win the Europa, because that's a designated spot. You can't not go into the Champions League if you win the Europa League, and you can't not go into the Champions League if you win the Champions League. I don't know what impact it has on. I think fourth place might not go, and also, I think what you're trying to celebrate. I think what you're actually trying to say, Chutia, is this: if did you know, you'll know this from the United Stand, did you know that if Man City finish first, Man United finish second, Leicester finish third, and West Ham finish fourth, but Arsenal win the Europa League and Chelsea win the Champions League, then West Ham wouldn't go into the Champions League? So basically, if Chelsea finish outside the top four and win the Champions League, and Arsenal will be outside the top four and win the Europa League, then fourth place in the Premier League doesn't get a spot. So that would be no West Ham. Thiago leaving a treble-winning side to a team who is potentially not going to make top four isn't spoken about enough. Football is crazy at times, says Yaza. And the war on the big six owners and all those who tried to rob us of the sport we love needs to continue. Let's stay together, united against these traitors, says Rudy. Well, I think Chelsea and Man City owners, I think it's all six, but that's just as a general football fan. But there's not going to be anything happening to Chelsea and Man City owners. Their fans are, in the main, not looking to do anything. And I don't know what's going on at Liverpool and Spurs. I don't know. I'm alright, Suker. Not enough people ask how people are. How are you? It's been a very, very busy week. Apparently, I've just said an Indian swear word, which is not being baited. Well, I suppose it is being baited, isn't it? But it's like getting me to say something in French that's a swear word. I'm never going to know what it is. Although I do know on coulez-vous, which I think is F off in French. Funny what you know. Oh, that's a foul on Lingard there from Werner. So that'll be a free kick. Oh, he's going to book him as well. Oh, he has booked him. Who's the best team in Scotland, Mark? Says Dean McMillan. I'm going to go with my favourite team in Scotland, and I'm going to say that my favourite Scottish team is probably Aberdeen. I don't know why I'm speaking Northern Irish, though. Aberdeen. Hey, has anyone ever seen the TV series Band of Brothers? I was late to the party on that. What a cracking series that is. Band of Brothers. Very, very good. Anyway, West Ham with a chance to sort of do a curling cross towards the pack post. Lingard's on it. Scooby-Doo. Here it comes from Lingard. It's a good cross. It's there. It's Soucek. Wow. Aspilicueta. Has he handballed it? He's walking around like that. Oh. He's going to check it on VAR. I don't know about this. It's going in. I think he's all right. Aspilicueta there. Well, no, it is chest to hand. Be very harsh, that. No, nothing given. Not a penalty. I don't even know if it hit his hand anyway. It definitely hit his chest first. That's gone wide. Goal kick to Chelsea. No penalty. Not given. It was checked on VAR. Not given. I'd have to see that again at half time. But I didn't think it was a Chelsea penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty against Chelsea, to be fair. Anyone got anything good planned for Saturday night? I'll tell you what I've got planned. 8 o'clock show on the United stand, and then I want to watch a movie. I think I'm going to watch a movie tonight. I just feel that after this week, I just can't get over the tiredness. I don't know about it. I just cannot get over it. I don't think it's even sleep. I think it's just general exhaustion. You know what I'm saying? Please smash a like on the video, by the way. See if we can get up to a few thousand likes. It'd be nice. UFC's on tonight. Another corner here for West Ham. Apparently Mbappe got injured. I knew that would happen. Line of Duty is very good, Shrivancha, but I think we're on Series 6 at the moment in real life. New Mortal Kombat trailers actually look alright, Callum. I watched the one with Sub-Zero and what was his name? Get over here! Scorpion, isn't it? Is it Scorpion? I can't remember what his name is. He used to play it. Cross comes in. Headed away. Chelsea very good from set pieces. Very good. Kazim says Chelsea haven't created much in this game. Well, if you're a Liverpool or Spurs fan, you'd like a draw. I think from my point of view, I wouldn't mind a draw because it just makes it more interesting to keep it all nice and tight. That's what she said. But oh, Mbappe will be fine, says Joe. I was more worried that I just more expected to see Neymar go. I think I do want PSG to beat Man City. I mean, look, as I said, how I felt about Man City a week ago is just changed for many reasons. They can't win a treble anymore, a proper one. They also are not the enemy of football. I think Manchester United are the enemy of football, unfortunately, in relation to our owners and what we've tried to do. And can I just say on that as well, I might be completely wrong here, but I think more information will come out about the Super League. But the understanding I have is that the Super League was constructed by Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Arsenal and Liverpool. It was the American owners and Real Madrid and possibly Barcelona that did it, and Juventus. So they were the key players in it. So when you do a Scottish accent, you sound exactly like Craig Burley, says Sumya. Thank you very much. Watford and Norwich promoted to Tonka. Yeah, 2 down last year, straight back up. It's getting a bit boring, isn't it? These parachute payments make it such a big advantage. I mean, there is a topic of conversation there. These parachute payments, does it make it unfair on the rest of the Championship? Because Norwich and Watford come down with millions of pounds, and they can almost say to their squad, "Stay with us for one more year. We could be back in a year." Mark, what do you think about the British Cup? Says Simpada. I don't know what it is. Knives Out's a very good film, Luxury. I watched it about this time last year. Very good. Curry says that PSG didn't want the Super League, support them. The only reason they didn't want the Super League, though, is because they're so heavily ingrained. Their owners are so heavily involved in the Qatar World Cup, which is FIFA. So they wouldn't want to upset FIFA, would they? But I think I do want PSG to beat Man City, not because I haven't got a problem with Man City anymore. I thought the way Pep spoke in the week really. I like Pep anyway, but my respect for Pep has gone up, and I don't have a problem with Man City in the sense that I don't think you can sit and say there now that they are ruining football like I did in a video a couple of weeks ago on this channel when your football club that you support has tried to ruin football through your owners. I just think I'd rather PSG beat Man City because Man City are Man City, aren't they? They're a rival of Man United, and I'd rather they didn't win the Champions League. I wouldn't want Arsenal to win the Champions League. So I think I probably would prefer PSG over Man City, and also very similar clubs, aren't they? So But I think I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, FIFA's back on Monday. Yazza said, if the ball was going in and the ball hits the defender's hand accidentally, will that not be a penalty, even if it's accidental? Shouldn't that be a pen? I think you're talking about the Azpilicueta thing here. And I'm not sure it hits his arm. I think it looks like it hits his arm anyway. We'd have to see it again at half time. I did see what Jorginho said about Lampard. Words to the effect that he probably went for the job too. He probably came into the job too soon, which I think he's right. I mean, I know some Chelsea fans agreed with him. I think effectively the way I read it was that Jorginho said that Lampard probably stepped up to the Chelsea job too soon, and I think he probably did. I mean, from being nothing to doing quite well at Derby, not amazingly well, but quite well at Derby, to being Chelsea manager, I think he almost did go too quick. And it'd be interesting to see if Gerrard would take the Liverpool job if it came up. So I think you can move too fast. And Urksa says Lampard said exactly the same about Villas-Boas, so it's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't see that as a criticism against Lampard, or even though it is a criticism. I don't think it's wrong to say that it was probably a little bit too soon for him. But goal for Werner! Werner with the goal for Chelsea. He scores at last. He still might win that golden boot that I predicted at the start of the season. But Werner makes it 1-0, and it's quite a simple goal. It's quite a simple goal, this. They work it quite well down the left-hand side. Werner works hard to get it to Pulisic, gives it to Chilwell. It's an assist for Chilwell. It's poor defending by West Ham, but give Werner his dues. He gets on the end of it. That cross from Chilwell, very simple across the ground, but it goes through 3 West Ham players. One of them's got to attack that. Caught flat-footed, and Werner's there to make it 1-0. It's a big, big goal for Chelsea, that one. Right before half-time as well. Big goal in the context of this game, but also in the context of top 4. As I said, Chelsea don't have a particularly easy running in the league. They're currently joint 4th with West Ham. If they can win today, they go 3 points clear of West Ham. But it doesn't mean that that race for top 4 is over, especially with the amount of games Chelsea have got to play. They've got a cup final to play. They've got 2 semi-finals in the Champions League, 2 legs to play there. So it would be a very, very big result for Chelsea if they could get it. This would put them, interestingly, 3 points ahead. But it's been quite an equal half. I don't think it's a game where you could say they've not played well, West Ham. But Chelsea with a key goal there. Hi Mark, I think Chelsea fans are going way overboard about Tuchel. Plays absolutely boring football and lost to West Brom and a draw against Brighton. Why are people hyping him up so much? This dog hates me. I think in fairness to Chelsea, look, I've watched them a few times this season, and I do think against Man City last week they were very, very good. I don't think they create many chances. I do think you're right about that. They're not at the moment, they're not a create many chances team, but I thought the way that they played against Chelsea for an hour last week, they absolutely passed through the press, a very good press from City, as we know, consistently well for an hour. So I do think there is a progression in the way that Chelsea are playing. And let's not forget, he came into the team in a very difficult situation, halfway through a season, and he's not had a transfer window yet. So he's working with players that he's inherited. There's nothing he can do about any issues that he feels are in the team. And, does he think Werner's the number 9 they need? I think if you dropped Erling Haaland into this Chelsea side, they would be a very, very good side. And that's nothing against Timo Werner, but is Timo Werner got the build of a Haaland? Is he an out-and-out number 9 who can hit teams on the, with pace and the creativity that Chelsea have got? So I still think they need, as South Kid says, that if you put you give Tuchel a really decent striker, and then judge him, I think. Considering the squad Chelsea have, they should play much better than they do, says Bjorn. But as I said, I think if you watch that semi-final against City last week, they played very, very well. So I think what you're seeing with Tuchel is probably the fact that he's come into the game halfway through the season, and there is a bit of inconsistency there. But what he's done is exactly what any good manager is going to do. He's stopped them conceding goals. and it's half time anyway. He stopped them conceding goals, and that stopped them losing games, and it's provided some stability for good results. So I would start judging him next season. Anyway, it's half time. It's 1-0 to Chelsea in a very big game in the top 4 race. Not loads to talk about. I would like to see that Aspilicueta thing again and see if it touches his hand, but for me, I don't think it was a penalty. The goal, cut back from Chilwell, cross along the ground. Werner's there to just pass it into the bottom corner. What do I think about it? I think that West Ham probably should have defended it a little bit better. But all in all, quite an equal game. Chelsea will be very happy to be going in 1-0. All to play for in the second half. Mark, how did you hear what... I don't know what you're talking about there. Remember we scored 3 goals against City, says Bateface. Mark is a Chelsea fan. I don't know where this comes from. Been a Spurs fan for over 40 years. I can't bring myself to carry on supporting them with the current owners at the helm, says IKEA. I was hoping that we would have points deducted due to ESL. This could force the owners to leave. Yeah, I don't know. As I said before, I think it's very, very clear where Man United fans and Arsenal fans are. They want change, and we probably both wanted change before all this, and this betrayal has just enhanced that demand. I think with Man City and Chelsea, it's very clear that they want they're unhappy, but they want their owners to stay. With Spurs and Liverpool, for me, I'd be guided by, if we've got any Spurs or Liverpool fans in the comments, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want to do. I think Liverpool fans were very unhappy, and some of them are happy, but a lot of them are saying to me, yeah, we'd like to get them out, but some of the top Reds seem to be sticking by them. I don't know what that means. I think Klopp came out today and sort of said it's time to move on, didn't he? Which is... if that was my manager, I'd be furious. But the situation at Liverpool is not the situation at Manchester United. As for Spurs, I don't know what people think about Spurs and their ownership. They could potentially replace the Carabao Cup with a competition where clubs from Scotland, Wales and England play against each other. But why, Simpara? Why? I mean, the only interest in that is Rangers and Celtic. And to be honest with you, Rangers and Celtic playing against Premier League clubs maybe 20, 30 years ago would have been very interesting, because Celtic and Rangers were stronger then. At the moment, how strong are Celtic and Rangers? Are they any stronger than Burnley? I don't know. So I don't see the attraction in that. Mark, what do you think the... Who is the owner of Spurs, actually? Because I've always thought it's Daniel Levy, or is he just his CEO? What is the ownership structure at Spurs? What age did you tie the knot, Mark? Says Suka. I think it was like mid to late 20s when I got married. What do you think of Ronaldo? His form is massively dropping these days. I haven't really watched a lot of it for a long while. Line of Duty tonight apparently going to have big twist because Mark is the leader of OCG. I'm a Liverpool fan. I will never forgive John Henry. I'm fuming. Says Carrie. Line of Duty is tomorrow night. The protest next Sunday, Manchester United. I'm talking about the protest on the United Stand at 8 o'clock, so I don't want to get into that too much, because there's a lot of people saying, why didn't you go? The reality is, I had a lot of people criticising me for not backing the protest today, despite backing it numerous times. What is going on, and it might be going on in your club as well, is that because people are vindictive, no matter what you try and do in life, people will try and pull you down. They'll try and break things up, and basically it's a reflection on their own shit lives, because they're sat there like saddos just stirring up trouble. And the reality is that there is a protest at Manchester United next Sunday, and it will be, I think, and I might be wrong, I think it will be the biggest protest you've ever seen. From what I know so far, I think it's going to be absolutely massive. But a lot of things need to happen for that to happen. But it'll be massive. I thought the people who were turned up today, and you can see the footage on the United Stand, maybe 2,000 people. That's not bad. I don't think they had 20 people at the Spurs one, and we certainly didn't have a live band playing. So very, very good from Manchester United fans today in a very short period of time with not a lot of organisation. But the one a week on Sunday will be, I think, the biggest one we've ever seen in a long, long time. But I'm hopeful of that, and that's the good thing about the one happening today. The momentum is very, very important. Also, Tammy Abraham is a very decent striker. Just sad Tuchel doesn't trust him, says Lumberjack. Yeah, I think Tammy Abraham's had a weird couple of years. I think when Lampard first came into the club, he looked like he was going to get a good run, and there was there was talk of him playing for England, and his time's just become a bit limited. I personally think that Tammy Abraham would be a very good Southampton striker or a very good Aston Villa striker, but obviously no disrespect to Watkins and Danny Ings, they're probably better strikers. But you know what I mean. I think he'd score you 20 goals a season playing for teams like that. So. Rumours saying that Celtic have approached Mourinho. I personally feel that is a match made in heaven. With passionate fans, Mourinho against the world would be amazing to watch, says Bareth. Well, just a couple of minutes on Mourinho. I was very surprised. I mean, Mourinho's career, you could write a book on it, and many people have. But it's been a very interesting career for Mourinho. I thought that the winning the league at Chelsea and then being sacked within 4 months was odd, but he clearly lost the dressing room. Manchester United, I don't think Manchester United was a success for Mourinho. I know he won a Europa League and he won a Carabao Cup, but that's not what you go to Manchester. That's not what he was at Manchester United to do. Again, he lost the dressing room, and again he got the sack. And then at Spurs, well, he's not even been at Spurs that long. He's not even been at Spurs 18 months. Was he at Spurs? Something like that. That's not really long. And again, he's clearly lost the dressing room again. And to get sacked on the Monday when football was in a meltdown about the Super League, no one even noticed it. So I almost feel for Mourinho, even though he probably doesn't deserve it, because here we go. Let's just have a look at this Aspilicueta thing. Does it catch his hand? Hold on a minute. The shot's going in from Soucek, and I think he chest and knees it. I don't think he hits his arm at all. It's going in. It looks like it hits his chest and then his knee. So I'm inconclusive about that. But yeah, for Mourinho to get sacked on a week where the world's focused on one of the biggest footballing dramas of its time, it's almost like we've forgotten about it. But I don't understand. He must have lost the dressing room to such an extent, because it sounds like Harry Kane really liked Mourinho, and it sounded like Lloris really liked Mourinho. So who were the players that didn't like Mourinho at Spurs? And also as well, 5 days before a cup final, Spurs fans might disagree with me, but I actually don't think it's very fair on Mourinho. I think he should have been given the opportunity to win the cup. I mean, he's won a cup at every club. It just feels to me there must be more to that. Son likes Mourinho as well, so it just feels to me like, what went wrong at Spurs? George Carl says Dele Alli's the one. Of course he is, but you're right. But Mourinho's won a trophy at every club he's been at, and he's 5 days before. And Spurs love a trophy. I almost think, did they sack him because if he won the trophy, they would have to keep him? It just felt a little bit wrong to do that a few days before a cup final. But look, it's not my business. It's Spurs' business, and a lot of people were happy to see him go. Where he goes from there, Mourinho, he can't manage in the Premier League. Who could he manage in the Premier League next? He's managed Man United, Chelsea, Spurs. There's not another club. He's not going to manage Man City, is he? He's not going to manage Liverpool. I don't think he'd manage Arsenal. 3 London clubs, he probably would. But I personally think Mourinho's best place is it's so obvious. It's Serie A, because Mourinho won't change his style of football. He's the sort of manager that still likes to get a goal and defend it, and that's perfect for Serie A, but not the modern Premier League. Did you see Avram Glazer's comments today? Says Mark Whitten. Tell me what the comments were, Mark. Is this the one where he was confronted in America by the Mirror and refused to apologise? I don't know what he actually said. Reese says, with complete love and support behind the idea of it, after seeing the march in London today, idiots, is it morally right to have these protests? Says Reese. What was the protest in London about today, Reese? I've completely missed that. I'll have a look. Hi, Mark. Always enjoy watching YouTube channels. Watching from Detroit, Michigan, says Mus. Thank you very much. I will be on the United Stand at 8 o'clock tonight. I will be talking about the protest. A few people have said, why weren't you there today? I'll give you the honest answer at 8 o'clock on the United Stand. It's some people might find it interesting. Some people might just say, well, that's very logical. But I don't shirk questions when people are trying to cause trouble and on such an important issue. Yeah, but I don't know what the I don't know what that's all about actually. Somebody tell me. I don't know. Mark, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I don't know why anyone thinks we're getting top four. We've only beaten one team out of the bottom seven, says Luke Bridgman. I just think Liverpool. Maybe I'm judging Liverpool on what they were like before. I mean, I'm looking forward to the game next week between Man United and Liverpool. I'm looking forward to that game anyway because of what's going to happen before it, and I think it's going to send a very big message. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Liverpool, and I think they almost do. If Chelsea win this, it makes it difficult for Liverpool because Chelsea would be 4 points ahead. Hi Mark, always enjoy what I've read that one, sorry. And also, is it true that police ask you not to show well, I don't know what that was all about from Frank Smith. Thanks for the super chat, Frank. We never knew you. Rest in peace. I presume you were a troll, but you know. I think Mourinho would do a decent job at Wolves, says Leo Swinton. Well, I think the way that Wolves play isn't dissimilar to the way that Mourinho plays, is it? That Portuguese connection. Right, second half, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? To be honest with you, I think West Ham can get back into it. I think that it's been quite a tight game. It could well finish 1-0. Chelsea haven't created loads of chances. They've certainly not dominated the game in the sense of chance creation. And I think West Ham will fancy a chance. I still think this could easily end up in a draw. I did say 2-1 to Chelsea. I might be right on that. But I still think West Ham can get back into it. Wolves manager was backup keeper for Mourinho at Porto, says David Nardiola. And also, he was asked, will he apologise? He said no. He was asked, are they considering selling the club because they seem so out of touch with British football? He said no comment. Apologise equals no. Sell equals no comment. Under pressure. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. Your time has come. Under pressure. They're under pressure, hopefully. Marvin AM, the fact that he says no comment about selling it is hopeful. There seems to be some movement around Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal at the moment. I did put that tweet out. I almost got arrogant and said that famous tweet. I mean, it's not famous if it's a tweet from me. I did say on the night where the European Super League had been sort of collapsed, so that would have been Tuesday night, I did say it's down to each club what they do now, and the real competition is who can get rid of their owner first. Good luck. And I think there is a rivalry between Man United, Arsenal and Liverpool. Of course there are, but I think there is a rivalry now to see who can get rid of their owner. Definitely. Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice is actually based on the tune of Under Pressure. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I said stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new adventure. Something got a hold of me tightly, daily and nightly. Where you gonna stop, yo? I don't know. Turn on the lights and I'll flow to the extreme. It's like a stream, like a candle. I don't know the words, but I'm gonna go bandle, bumpkin. I could don't know the rest. But it is. You're right. It is based on Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie. Rest in peace, both Queen and David Bowie. Although not all Queen are dead. Some people think they are. Some people they look like they are. But Brian May, Roger Taylor and the other one isn't dead. But Freddie Mercury and David Bowie is dead. Rest in peace. And Vanilla Ice's career is dead. Rest in peace. Half time is about to come out now. Thanks for your dad music recommendations, Mark, says Zach. You're alright, Zach. Mark, can you sing Stop Crying Your Heart Out for me? It's my birthday and that's my favourite song. Well, I don't want to ruin your birthday. FX. Type in London March on Twitter. I'm all out. I'm all glazes out. But seeing those people is such a slap to the NHS, and I don't want to be a hypocrite in this. It says Reese. And thanks to Mark Whitten. Right, let me get the timer on here for the start of the kickoff. Let's go. Jesse kicks off. Time is up and running. Should one older sell, do you think that will put other owners under pressure? Should one owner sell, do you think that will put other owners under pressure? It would definitely spur on more protests by the fans. Yeah, Mark Whitten, I think you're absolutely spot on. I think if Liverpool could remove their owner, or Arsenal or United, it would be a domino effect that would galvanise. I certainly don't think Manchester United's efforts will be dependent on Arsenal removing their owner. But I think if we do see one of our rivals doing a good job, and I would say I would be jealous if Arsenal or Liverpool got rid of their owner. But I wouldn't be so jealous that I wouldn't applaud them and say well done, because it's a victory for football. So look, I hope Arsenal are successful, and I hope Liverpool are successful if that's what they want, and I hope Spurs are successful if that's what they want. And if Chelsea fans decide it, which obviously they won't, or Man City, then I hope they're successful. But obviously I want Manchester United to be successful more than all of them. But I would hope that a lot of fans would want us to be successful as well, because it's a victory for football to do it. It is. Let me have a look at this then. Anti-lockdown protesters defy restrictions in central London. Thousands march in fury over lockdown and vaccine passports. Ugh. I mean, I'm not political, so I've got to stop here. I'm not into certainly not into sharing my politics. I'm not really into being political, but I think anti-lockdown protesting is pretty. There's probably more to it, but it's not like we haven't had people die. Like, I'm very aware of how real that illness is. Let me just say that, and it's a horrible illness. And to say that, you know, it's all right. It's all right. It's nice and easy, isn't it, when we're coming out of the pandemic, to start criticising tactics and things like that. But I don't know. FIFA's back on Monday. Tony Marchetti. Ahmed says, I can't believe Werner scored. It did happen. We've witnessed history today. It might have been a historic week in relation to football trying to be ruined, but you can pinch yourself. Werner has scored. Lovely bit of skill there. I bet it, is it Werner? Is it Mount again? I think it was. What a player Mount is. I always knew he'd amount to something. Can West Ham get back into this? United needs to buy St Maximum, says FD. No, I don't agree with that. I think he's a good player. I think he's very inconsistent, and I think to be a top 6 player, consistency is obviously very important. I mean, look at Jesse Lingard. Fantastic for West Ham, but in the last 2 years for United, and to be honest, for most of his career at United, he's been quite an inconsistent player. I think some players, but you stick him in a West Ham team and he finds consistency, and I think he finds consistency because the pressure's not the same. There's more space on the pitch, and I think St Maximum does a good job for Newcastle, but does he tear it up for Newcastle to the extent week in, week out, where you think, oh, you put him in a better team, he's going to be good? You can be an inconsistent player and go to a bigger team and become more consistent, but Danny Ings needs to stay at the Saints, says Dan W. Apparently Jesse Lingard's older than Kane, says Click. Jesse's 28, isn't he? I thought Harry Kane was 28. Who's better, Mount or Saka? Saka's a good player, sport maniac, but I think Mount's had probably one of the best players in the Premier League this season. Very good. Is it appropriate to mass demo in these times, says Stephen B. Harry? The reality is you can, Stephen. You can do it. Protests are allowed if they're organised, so you can do it. Of course, people... Ibrahim says, do you think Man United will join the European Super League? I think they'll do everything they can to still join it, yeah. I don't think it's really gone away. West Ham finishing 4th will be an amazing statement to these top 6, says Doel. Well, the Super League selection process was all... I don't really want to... I never really wanted to talk about the Super League in that sense, but I do agree with people who said the selection process of the top 6 was somewhat questionable. I'm not saying that... Look, even in my Super League I had the same 6, but that's a computer game. And also, I think the fact that 15 of them stayed in it every year for 20-something years is just farcical. Where's the sporting merit, as Pep said? I think Leicester's chance of top 4 is good, but I think their run-in is difficult. Well, who do you think will win the Champions League and the Premier League? Says FX. I mean... You've given me one of the easiest questions in the world there in relation to the Premier League. Oh, West Ham down the right-hand side. Man City are going to win the Premier League, of course. But the Champions League could be Man City. I think Man City are still the favourites to win the Champions League. Oh, Kante's coming away. They've got a 3v3. Lingard's chased him back, but he finds Mount into... Oh, this is a lovely break from Chelsea if they get it right. And they've still got the ball, but it's broken down a bit. Let's see what happens here. Chilwell's gone back to the halfway line. So Leicester's last few games, they're playing on Monday, aren't they, Leicester? So they've got Palace on Monday at home. So that's looking good. Southampton away. Newcastle at home. So that's 3 games where you'd expect them to get 6 points from them 3. Then they've got United, which will be a big game in the Premier League, really, because it's, you know... then they've got Chelsea, then they've got Spurs. I think for Leicester, with Newcastle, Southampton and Palace in their next 3 games, that is where they really, really have got to get... I mean, if they can get 3 wins, I think they've got top 4. If they get 2 wins from the next 3, that takes them to 66, 60, 65... Would 65 points be enough? Probably not. They probably need... I think with 6 games to go, I think Leicester need 3 wins. I think 68 points will get them top 4. So they've got a good chance, Leicester, but if there's one team I think is capable of bottling it, it is them. But I do think Leicester are going to get top 4. I've jinxed them. Here's Mount on the right-hand side. It's a lovely cross. I tell you what... Every time I see Mount, he impresses me more and more. Really does. I've read that one. My son just informed me that he's going to ring social services for making him support Spurs. I just opened a bottle of scotch. What a week, says IKEA Shoe Rack Supports Club. Hi Mark, hope you and your family are doing well. Loving what United Stand is doing. On a sad note, the pandemic is in full force in India. 346,000 cases per day. Pratik, I don't want to talk about this, but I do want to talk about this. Why is this happening now when it didn't happen before? Good shot! Werner! He's missed it! Oh my God, Timo! Timo! It's no for Timo. It's a shot here from... it's Mount again. It's a lovely shot by Mount. And he's got to score. He's got to score. It's a tap-in. Mount shoots from outside the box. Fabianski makes the save. Palms it out. Werner's there. And he's bloody missed it. And Tuchel's like... This is Tuchel's reaction. He's got to score that. It's a good job he scored in the first half, but it's typical Werner, really. You know, when I said Timo Werner will win the Golden Boot, this is why I said it. Because he could have won the Golden Boot. He just can't bloody... He deserves a bloody farmer's boot. He's playing in Timberlands. Do you think we should take pointers of the French and how they do protesting? They're kind of masters at it over history, says Red Baron. Well, I'm not really aware of what they do. I don't think Foden is that far from Haaland and Mbappe. Imagine having a four of Rashford, Grealish, Foden, Kane. Foden and Grealish would control games, says Cam. Grealish needs to get back. Good shot from distance there, straight at Mendy though from Fornells. The game's starting to stretch a little bit. I'm enjoying this second half at the moment. It's a good old second half. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We are bang on at the moment. Oh, he's in the box. Bowen blocked. We are 20 subscribers away from 384,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. West Ham know this is important. Advath says that in India the second wave just arrived here. So you're probably getting the wave that we got around Christmas time. But I always thought because it's a warmer climate in India that, you know, that would help. But maybe that was just timing. I just thought in the summer it was better. West Ham, cross comes in. Oh, maybe should have hit it. Maybe should have hit it. The game is stretched at the minute. My girlfriend was in hospital with the virus at 20 with no pre-existing conditions. I appreciate you saying your bit on this. Here's your fiver, mate, says Kristen Barnes. Well, I don't think she'll be. I don't think she will be bothered about me saying this. But my wife actually had it 2 weeks ago. So we've had COVID in our house for. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? And she was really ill for a couple of weeks. Fortunately, she didn't get any. And they said she didn't get any chest issues, and I knew I would have cracked a joke, which is not. It's not the time. If you've watched me going for Goldbridge, I always crack a joke when I'm, you know, on serious things. But lost the taste. Still hasn't had it back. Really bad headaches. Really bad fatigue. It affects different people in different ways. It is very, very serious, and it can, you know. She's not like these people say it's just like the common flu. It's not like the common flu. If you get it bad, it's very, very bad. And the only fortunate thing is that that nobody else in the house got it that bad. I think I had a day where I had quite a lot of fatigue, but I didn't bother getting tested for it. So I don't know whether I have had it. I presume being in the same house, breathing the same air in the same rooms for that long, we probably did have it. But she's fully recovered now. We've gone way past I think we're about 21 days past the bloody time where you should be isolating and stuff like that. But it is a very serious illness for some. Of course, there's a lot of people that don't get any symptoms. There's a lot of people who get very mild symptoms, but there are some people that get very bad symptoms. So take care if you're in. I mean, look, as I say, in the UK, it's almost like we haven't got it anymore, and we probably will have it back again soon. But if you are in a country that's got it, you know, definitely do adhere to, you know, social distancing and everything, because you never know, it could hit you or a loved one or a friend quite badly. So yeah, thanks everyone. Yeah, she's not. I mean, she hasn't got a taste back yet. But then I know somebody else who had it a year ago and they still haven't had their taste back. I think if you lose your taste, it can be a real problem getting it back. Come on then, let's have another goal in this. Much better second half from both teams. There's a lot more space in it. Here goes Jesse. He's on a run. He's probably held on that for a little long. He's held on to that for too long there, Jesse. Well done, though. Do you think humanity will learn from this pandemic, or will it be like the Spanish flu, aka the Kansas flu? I think we will not prepare, says Red Baron. Hope she's okay, mate, says Kristen Barnes. Yep, she's doing all right now. Just needs to get her taste back. It means I can fart in the bedroom and she can't smell it. I used to always have to get out. you know, when you have to run out the room and do it in the hallway or something like that. Now I can just let rip and smile. Do you think that Jesse Lingard could do a decent job on the right wing? I think Lingard can do a job on the right wing, but if I was Jesse, why would you want to come and do half a job on the right wing at Man United? Would you not want to just play at West Ham in the number 10 position? I mean, most of us have played football, haven't we? You want to play in your position. If you're a centre back and they put you at bloody, I don't know, right back, is it where you want to play? If you're a striker and they put you on the wing, I think Jesse Lingard's 28 years of age. He's proven that he can play at number 10. And I think he should play at number 10. And at Man United, he's never going to play at number 10, is he? So, right. That was a good question from Red Baron anyway about do you think how humanity will learn from the Spanish flu? No, I don't, because I think one of the things that life's taught me is that people in positions of power, no matter how high you go up, you almost, like when you're growing up, you think that these people who are running football clubs, these people who are running governments, these people who are running, you know, big banks and everything like that, you think that they're somehow better than you and that they're more intelligent. The scary thing as you get older and you come into contact with these people is that you realise they're actually sometimes not even equipped as well as you are. So I don't think that we'll learn from this. I think ultimately we just go from crisis to crisis and we don't put things in place to prevent it in the future until it's too late. We'll deal with it when it happens. There's a lovely ball over there on the back post. There is Jesse. And he deserves a tweet as well. Where were you when Aguero scored that goal against QPR, says Racehorse Red? Well, I wasn't living in this house I'm in now. It was my last house. I actually remember it really, really well. I hadn't watched the Man United game against Sunderland. I was purposely avoiding it because I knew Man City would win. And then at about half time, I was like, I think QPR were winning, weren't they? So I just got drawn into watching it. Good shot again. I think it was Mount again, held by Fabianski, but he's just Mount is really good, isn't he? I mean, it's not just me; he's actually really good. And then I just remember Aguero scored that goal, and I turned the telly off, and I didn't put Sky Sports on for about 2 months. I was just like, no, it's one of the worst things ever, and it's one of the worst ways for it to happen as well. I always say that. The thing about the Aguero thing is it's not the fact that we didn't win the league, it's the way that we were literally seconds away from snatching the league. And we should have won the league that year anyway, we bottled it. And then we nearly got it back again, and it's a horrible way to lose it. It's a fantastic way to win it. And as I've said before as well, you know, it's a horrible way to lose it, but when you've witnessed Man United winning the Champions League with Ollie's winner, you can't moan. You can moan, because that's what we do as football fans, and it does hurt. And you do hate it, and you never get used to it, and you never sit there and go, oh well. But actually, when you take off the red tinted glasses, it's exactly, well, as Shane Brown says, how do you think Bayern fans felt in '99? Yeah, when you've done it to someone, I suppose you can't really not expect it not to happen to you. It's a bit like Man City, isn't it? I mean, it didn't bother them the other week. They ended up winning anyway. But, you know, they're all saying that Leeds Cooper guy, oh, it's definitely a red card, definitely a red card. And then when Stones does it, oh, it's not a red card. It's, you know, football's got a funny way of levelling things out. Chelsea out wide to Azpilicueta, back into Kante. Nice look, 1-2. That's a throw-in. 25 to go. Mason Mount. Ooh, canty. People in the live comments, some of them saying Mount's crap. Oh, here we go. Soucek's got a bit of space. He needs a runner. Oh, I don't know what sort of pass he was hitting there. There's a lot of space. Chelsea is sort of... It's like Chelsea going for the second goal. You can't argue with Chelsea going for the second goal. They should have probably had the second goal. Werner should have made it 2-0. Second goal will kill this game, but they are leaving a bit of space at the back. Mount's classy reminds me of Lampard, says Irfan. Well, there were them rumours. What do I think about Ray Parlour on his argument? I mean, look, at the end of the day, when we talk about Ray Parlour and TalkSport, we're delivering them what they want. They don't care about... They won't be sat there and going, oh, God, we're trending and getting loads and loads and loads of attention because of what Ray Parlour said. They'll love it. That's why they did it. I said it at the time. If nobody hasn't seen it, basically, Robbie from AFTV went on TalkSport to talk about the Arsenal owner and, you know, whether they should go. And from the very first point of it, Ray Parlour, who was on the interview, is saying, oh, good shot by Werner there, good save. Well, West Ham get rid of it. From the very start of the interview, it's like, well, yeah, but you know, AFTV, you don't support Arsenal, do you? You like it when you lose. It's all about clicks. And it's like, Robbie's like, well, hold on a minute, Ray, I'm not on here for this. What are you doing? What are you talking about? I'm not here on for this. I'm here to talk about getting rid of the owner. So... It was scripted, says Annie. It was definitely scripted. And when I watched it the second time, you could see Ray Parlour sort of looking at his mic and sort of smiling as he did it. It was like, it was such a trap. And they've got exactly what they want. They know next week they'll do it to somebody else and that'll get forgotten. And that's what it's all about. For them to, but the thing that made me laugh about it is whatever you think about AFTV, whatever you think about United Stand and that, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, of course they are. For TalkSport to come out and say you thrive on negativity is absolutely... It's like Ronald McDonald going into a butcher's and saying you're horrible to cows. Like, you've thrived on a business that sells loads of burgers, mate. Beef burgers. So it is a joke. It is a joke. It's such hypocrisy. But it was staged hypocrisy. So actually talking about it, we're just doing what they want. Mount or Foden, says Centurion, 100 points. Oh, it's so difficult. I think there's such a big conversation coming. And I think there's a big argument point coming. Because can you take Foden, Grealish, Lingard and Mount to the Euros? You can't. You probably leave Lingard out of those, but I'm not sure that Southgate will. Can you take Foden, Mount and Grealish? You probably can't. Who do you leave out? I think he's going to leave out Grealish, which I think's bloody ridiculous. But Foden's fantastic. I mean, Foden's fantastic. I think Mount's been fantastic this season. I think Grealish is fantastic. But who do you leave out? They're so good. People are even talking about Maddison as well. Lingard's been very good, but I think Lingard has to be left out because those three are just... I think they're better, but it's difficult. It's typical of England. We always seem to do this. I remember like in the sort of mid-90s, we had so many good strikers. You had Andy Cole, Alan Shearer, Teddy Sheringham, Ian Wright, Robbie Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Stan Collymore. That's like 7 off the top of my head straight away, and somebody's going to say more. We had so many good strikers. But then there was other areas where you had nobody. There was a time where England had a really good team, but we didn't have any good left wingers. We had like people like Steve Guppy playing from Leicester. So we've got all these brilliant number 10s. Michael Owen wasn't playing in the mid-90s, Ross. And Rooney was definitely not playing in the mid-90s. He was about 10. fact, he's probably younger than that in the mid-90s. Chris Sutton was another one, yeah. So, got 20 minutes to go here. Very good scoreline, 1-0. Will it stay 1-0? Find out in the next 20 minutes. Blizzard says thoughts on the Super League. I mean, there's probably about 10 videos on this channel giving my thoughts on the Super League. I don't really have anything further to add. Lovely play down the left-hand side here. I don't think he's going to get there, though. Fredericks. England could win the World Cup in the next 10 years if they had clear defend coaching of the national team, says Memphis. I think England could do very... I think the thing I would say about England beyond that is that we've got probably 4 or 5 really good attacking midfielders. And we've got a not bad selection of attackers. With the right coach, we could be a really, really entertaining side. And if you're an entertaining side, you've got a very good chance of being successful. We've got all these good attacking midfielders, and then we've got a manager who likes to play a back 5. It's such a contradiction. Letitia was around then as well, Matthew, and he was overlooked as well. Yeah, you're right. But George is correct as well. The talent pool that the French and the Portuguese have is pretty impressive. I mean, we're not going to win the Euros. We're not going to win the Euros because George is probably right. We haven't probably got the depth of talent across the whole team that a Portugal or a France have got. I mean, look at France's quality centre backs. I mean, am I right? Don't Badashil and Koundé play for the under-21s because they don't need them in the first team. So the quality that France have got is immense. But also the coaching is a big thing. Would you take Mourinho for the England job, says Zidane? No. I'd rather have Lampard or Wenger. I do think style of football is important, and whilst I think Mourinho and international football is an interesting prospect, and maybe that's where he goes next, I certainly don't think Mourinho is going to retire. I don't think I'd want Mourinho as the England coach, although he might be quite good at it. But we've got so many good attacking players, and let's not forget you've got people like Saka coming through as well. There are some really good players. Greenwood as well. Attacking wise, we've got loads of good attacking players. You want a manager that's going to get the best out of that. Lingard there. He'll be having a yellow card, will he? Or did Jorginho make the most of it? Ziyech coming on for Chelsea. Hi Mark, I just started uploading football education videos, but I live in America. Any chance for a shout out to help to get some traction? It's called Pig Page. There you go, Pigger's Page. Thoughts on Arteta being better than Ollie, says Michael. I think after the week we've had, do we want to be better? Do we want to do that? Do we really want to do that? Arteta against Ollie at the moment? I'm sure both Arsenal and Manchester United fans are probably more focused on getting rid of their owners than talking about that. But maybe some of you are interested in that, I don't know. Sorry, I pronounced that completely. I've just typed it in myself. Yeah, do check it out. Pigger's Page, which is Pogors Page. It is there. Just having a quick look now. You've got a video about the Super League. Well done. 15 to go. I do like Percy Pigs. Even I thought about that now as well. M&S Elite Sweets. Percy Pigs. They're nice. Well, this would be a very good win for Chelsea if they can get it. But for West Ham, it would be a fantastic point if they can get it. I think for West Ham, a point would be good because their running is good. But let's not forget, even if Chelsea win, I don't think it definitely gets them top 4 either. Still all to play for. Personally, I think from this position, I'd like to see a draw because I think it just makes it nice and interesting. Liverpool would love a draw. Spurs would love a draw. Bit off topic, but would you rather have Kaka in his prime or Neymar now on your team? Says Esto. I do think Neymar's better, yeah. I do think Neymar's better. I mean, Kaka was fantastic, but I do think I would go with Neymar. No, see, everyone loves Kaka. I knew people would say Kaka. Kaka was very, very good, but I'm not a big fan of Neymar. I think Neymar, it's a shame with Neymar because I think his theatrics take away from the talent that he actually is. But ooh, careful, careful there. Thoughts on cream eggs? Not a big fan of them and didn't notice them this Easter. Quite happy about that. What are you having for dinner today, says Niraj? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I went out for a lovely dinner yesterday. You might have seen it on my Instagram page, at Goldbridge Mark, if you're on Instagram. First time out in the pub, really, for a long time. And it was a lovely, I'll give it a shout out. The Boot at Lapworth. It's a lovely lovely pub. I think Andy Gray used to drink in there. Doesn't now, because I think he's in Dubai. But here's Werner. He's bad first touch. He's gone wide. And that's into Chilwell. Thoughts on Pulisic and ZX, as Michael? Both very good players. I think Tuchel's moved them better, used them better, but I still think Tuchel's suffering from having too many players, which is what Lampard's problem was as well. It's almost like you can't play a player in. You want to play a player 10. It's like Hudson-Odoi as well. Hudson-Odoi, Havertz. You just can't find him the game time. Here's Werner. And he's lost it again. Would you accept Super League if it is on sporting merit? Says Druv. No, don't want it. Not want it. Are you worried Mrs. Goldbridge will leave you once she gets a sense of taste back? Says good cousin. She had a sense of taste. She's always had a good sense of taste. But it's a good joke, actually. I get it now. Yeah, so I went out for a pub lunch yesterday. And oh, let's watch this. Tell you what, if he gets a red card for that, this is a joke. They actually are checking it for a red. You're having a laugh. Are they actually having a laugh? You actually having a laugh? He's kicked the bloody ball away. You can't send somebody off for kicking a ball away. Are they having a laugh? You can't have a red. Check him for a red for kicking the ball away. He kicks the ball, the West Ham player kicks the ball away, and as the ball's gone away, his foot's gone into the back of Chilwell. There's no intent there. He's just trying to stand back down. Oh, fuck off. Seriously, I think even Chelsea fans, you've got to say here, this is a bloody joke. It's absolute. How can you be reckless when you're kicking the fucking ball away? The game is dying. Man City midweek, Leeds a couple of weeks ago, McTominay's goal disallowed. This isn't football, people. This is not football. This is a bloody soap opera. He kicks the ball away. Yes, it looks very nasty, but what's he supposed to do with his foot? This is what I'm saying. You're sending people off for natural actions. You can't send somebody off for kicking the ball away. And I just don't get it. I do not get this. In slow motion again. He's going to send him off. I can't get my head around this. I cannot get my head around this anymore. He's done it! He's bloody giving him a red! You're joking! Just, what a week! What a week! How? How is that a red? He kicks the ball away, goes to put his foot down, and in slow motion it looks like he's stamping on him in purpose. It's a farce! It's an absolute farce! I cannot believe this game! The game is just gone! It's gone! I mean, look, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. The game is gone. The game is gone. Players can't even clear the ball anymore. Bloody joke. I mean, look, again, people are going to go, clear red, Mark. It's a clear red. It's reckless. He's not making a bloody tackle. He's kicking the ball. His eyes are not on the bloody defender. I cannot tell you enough how the game is being ruined by these absolute pricks. Watch his eyes. He kicks the ball away. He goes to put his foot down and it goes on the back of the player. Yes, it's going to be very, very painful, but there's no intent. How can you be reckless kicking a ball away and putting your foot on the floor? That's one of the worst red cards I've ever seen in my life. I don't think John Stones was a red card. I don't think Cooper for Leeds was a red card. I think they've gone to try and win the ball and they've been unlucky catching a player. But you kick the ball away and on your follow through, you hit a player who's not even that badly injured. You know, when you play a physical game, sometimes you get hurt. It's like every time somebody gets hurt now, you've got to send them off. You useless prick. And VAR. I'm fed up of it. It's terrible. I'm not a West Ham fan. I'm not. That could be anybody. That could be PSG, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. I would feel sorry for them. That is a bloody joke. It really is. I'm sorry. It's a joke. I can't. How can... Look, I don't support either of these teams. I just think it's an interesting game in a race for top four. And let's be honest, West Ham are having a fantasy season. They could have got a late equaliser here. That red card there, it's not a clear and obvious error. It's definitely not a clear red. And he goes for a red card. You absolute cretin. I make myself get angrier. I'm getting angrier myself. How can you watch that and go, yeah, it's definitely a red. I've seen it. It's definitely a red. It's reckless. Play the game and put it on real time, please. Stop sending people off in slow motion. In fact, why don't you get your card and go, red? Because that's what you're doing. You send him I don't get it. I just don't get it. I do not get it. And people say be calm. But we've just spent a week arguing against the European Super League as fans, as football fans. Football is what my club, Manchester United, tried to destroy football. At no point did I go, well, once a red, always a red. I'm going to back the Glazers on this. As soon as I heard it, I went, that's not fair on West Ham. That's not fair on Leicester. That's not fair because I'm a football fan. I'm a football fan. And when I see decisions like that, I've wasted 85 minutes of my Saturday evening watching a game that's been quite, interesting in relation to what it means to be ruined by dickheads who don't understand the game. And I can't stand that ref anyway. I don't even know what his name is. He always looks like he's walking around. He hasn't got a bloody clue what he's on about. Oh, I just don't get it. I just don't get it at all. And look, anybody who thinks it's a red card, well done for having an opinion. But the reality is it's not a clear one, is it? Because 75%, in fact, I'd probably say 80%, maybe even 90%, and 90% of bloody social media is saying, what the hell is that all about? I just don't understand how you can give a red for kicking the ball away. I just don't get it. Anyway, whatever, it's gone. Chris Kavanagh's the ref. Useless, mate. Absolutely useless. But the scary thing is, it's like the red. I think this season we've seen the disintegration of handball. I don't know what isn't a handball in the penalty box anymore. I've got no idea. I've seen blatant, what I would say are handballs not given this year. So I don't understand the handball rule anymore. And I don't understand what's a straight red for a foul anymore, because I'm seeing people getting sent off that I don't think are fouls. I think John Stones against Villa, not a red card. That, I can't understand that one. He's not even tackling. He's clearing his own ball and he sent him off. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But look, Chelsea are going to get a very important... It's not Chelsea's fault. It's not Chilwell's fault. It would have hurt him. But crazy. You're basically sending somebody off for a follow-through on a kick. I mean, he's a fullback, right? He's a fullback. He's kicking the ball down the line. He can't not follow through with his foot. He's looking on the follow through, and as he goes to put his foot down, it stands on Chilwell. Painful, very painful, but he's following through. He's not followed through and thought, right, now I'm Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm going to split him in two. I cannot explain to you how I cannot get my head around that. I cannot understand that. I can't even understand how VAR reviewed it, and then I can't understand how the referee looked at it and went, yeah, that's a red. It's reckless. They don't. Do they not even play five-a-side in their spare time? Have they never kicked a ball in their life? Do they not understand the physics of football? Do they not understand what happens when you kick a ball away and you're on one leg and momentum means it's got to go down? I don't even understand it. I don't understand it anymore. The VAR has made the game more confusing. VAR was brought in to make the game less confusing. It's actually managed to make the game worse. Unlucky. I tell you what, West Ham, unlucky. Unlucky, that's all I'm saying. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We always seem to catch these VAR moments. I wish we didn't. I really do, but we do. But as I said, look, if you're a Chelsea fan and you think it's a red card, of course you do. It's called... If I was a Man United fan, I'll tell you right now, if that happens against Leeds tomorrow, I'd like to think I'd say that's a joke, it's not a red. But to be honest with you, I'm probably going to go, yeah, good decision, because you're going to have club bias. But if that happens against your team, do you still think it's a red? I can't see it. I really can't. LCT says, I'm a Chelsea fan. I don't think it was. Well, the thing is, as a Chelsea fan, I think there might be a few people who think it's not a red as well, because I think what we have seen this week is that when we come together as football fans, it's, I think I've been so humbled by football fans this week coming together in one common goal that, maybe we've still got that cap on. But you know what? I've seen people kick a ball away before. I've seen them kick the ball away, concentrate on the player and go through them. I know what's deliberate and what's not. That wasn't deliberate. And it can't be reckless when you've kicked the ball away. I don't know. But look, it's a shame. It's not Chelsea's fault. They've done nothing wrong there. It's officiating. And how many times this season... You go back to that Grealish one. Was it Grealish against Palace this season or last season where, they had a legitimate goal ruled out? How many times this season are we seeing games destroyed by VAR and bad refereeing? It's happening way more, I think, than it was happening without it. Thank you, Mark. West Ham fan here. What a joke that decision was. Drunk as a skunk, so got to see an extra slow motion. Definitely not a foul, says John. It's not even... Well, actually, Idris makes a good point. It's not even VAR's fault, is it? It's not VAR's fault. It's bloody... It's the refs. Lee Taylor says, can we protest to remove VAR next? I mean, what I would protest for is, can we get referees who've played a game of football before? Because what they don't seem to know when they're judging the... even when you look at John Stones in midweek, or you look at the Leeds one a couple of weeks ago, or you look at the McTominay one where his hand goes out, or you look at that one. If you've played the game, you know. And I can't believe that these people have never played. They must have played the game. But they seem to make decisions that have got no sense if you've ever played the game, and that's the thing. And also, I've said this so many times, and Bjorn's right. Why are they looking at slow motion? Why are we watching things in slow motion? I've never understood why they review things in slow motion. Five minutes to go. So a bit of a disappointing end to a game here. I mean, Chelsea, big 3 points for Chelsea. But, you know, you look forward to games like this. West Ham, Chelsea, 4th against 5th, both on the same points. Only 6 games to go. Chelsea are going to get the points, puts them 3 points ahead of West Ham. Doesn't mean West Ham are out of it, but could be a massive win for Chelsea in the context of getting top 4, and it could be a big loss for West Ham. Somebody just said there they do it in slow motion to get a better look. But I understand that, but if you want a better look, have a better look, but then play it in normal. Like they analyse, they'll go, can I have a look at it again? And they watch it 3 or 4 times in slow motion. And then I get that you might want to have a better look to see if it hits their hand or where the connection is. I get that in slow motion, but then watch it again in real time, because they watch it again and again and again in slow motion, and everything is going to be bad in slow motion because it's not fast time, is it? What I'm trying to say is, if I watch a bad tackle like the John Stones one on was it Wednesday night in slow motion, it makes it look like John Stones has had loads and loads of time to go through and go bang, and it makes it look bad. But actually, when you play it in real time, you realise he's gone in, and it's literally a split second thing. Thoughts on Ryan Giggs? Says Carrie. Well, I'm not going to say anything about Ryan Giggs because, as I said before, a lot of people have said things and they've made their mind up, and that is their right if they want to do that. But I'm a firm believer that you're innocent until you're proven guilty, and he's not been proven guilty. He's been charged, which means it will go to court. Thanks for the super chat, Leo. Luke says, red card all day, Mark. Did you not see the studs come down on the guy's leg? Nearly snapped him in half. Mate, I'm not. I mean, look, you might be a troll, but I'll explain it to you because you're an idiot. I'm not saying that it wouldn't have hurt Chilwell. It could have broken his leg. But do you send... this is what I keep saying. Coventry City, David Boost, Old Trafford. His leg's like that. 2 United players go for the ball. One comes in that way, one comes in that way. They snap his leg. He never plays football again. Probably one of the most horrific injuries on a football pitch in the Premier League history. Neither got sent off. Would both get sent off now? Probably. Why are you sending them off? They haven't done anything wrong. It's just a freak accident in a competitive sport. So you don't. I think some people. I think you're as bad as the referees now. I think we are sending people off because people are getting hurt and they might have broken their leg. But you can't send somebody off for doing something unintentional that's got... I think that's the problem now. I think people are starting to move into the world I don't want to move into, which is basically you can try a tackle 10 times, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you actually catch somebody, you're going to get sent off. He kicks the ball away, his leg momentum goes that way, his eyes are watching where the ball has gone, and as he puts his foot on the ground, he stands on Chilwell's leg. He's got to put his foot on the ground. He's in the right because he's kicking the ball. Yes, it is painful for Chilwell and it could have broke his leg. But it doesn't mean you send a player off for it. If he's intentionally done that, which I'll tell you what, you have to be a bloody genius to boot a ball away and then follow through. But nah, you can't be giving red cards because somebody accidentally hurts somebody. Message didn't send. People wanting VAR gone, forget the equal anger levels at refs before it was introduced. VAR itself isn't the issue, it's poor refereeing. I agree, Leo, you're absolutely spot on with that. Prediction on top 4, says Blizzard. I mean, look, Chelsea have got a very good chance of getting top 4 now. It's a bad result for Liverpool. It's a bad result for Spurs because I think they go 4 points ahead of Liverpool, 3 points ahead of West Ham, 5 points ahead of Spurs. What a miss. Is that Tammy Abraham? Right on the line virtually, heads it over the bar, but it's probably a little bit high for him. But Chelsea have got quite a difficult run in, so it's not necessarily over. But you look at Chelsea's squad, I'd say Chelsea are in a very good position now. I don't know how Tammy Abraham misses that, to be honest with you. But that's it, full time at West Ham. It is 1-0 to Chelsea. Very good result for Chelsea. You can't moan at Chelsea. They probably should have had a second goal anyway. Werner certainly should have cleared it off. So Chelsea deserve to get the win, I think. I think nobody would argue with that. But unfortunately, another poor refereeing decision. I'd have to see that again, but for me, I just can't see it. David Moyes doesn't look particularly happy. The fact that the camera's on David Moyes says everything about that. But it is 1-0 to Chelsea. It's a very big win for Chelsea. It's a disgrace for West Ham, I believe. But what are you going to do? What can you do? Balls are red and it's all blue. But yeah, 1-0 Chelsea. Look, thanks everyone for watching. Next watch-alongs are going to be, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday night because we've got Champions League. So, FIFA's back as well. We've got lots of stuff coming up on this channel. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. 8 o'clock on the United Stand, we'll be talking about the protests today, why I wasn't there, what the plans are for future ones, and also the latest Manchester United news. So tune in on there at tonight. Big win for Chelsea. They've got a firm hand on top 4 now. They've got an FA Cup final, a Champions League semi-final. Could be a very good season for Chelsea, actually. Or is there another twist and turn? Liverpool drawing today puts them really in trouble for a race for top 4. West Ham, is the dream over? Not necessarily. Their running is not too bad. But the hands are on it with Chelsea. Chelsea deserve to win today, I think. But the red card was a joke. And you just wonder what is going on in football. I'll speak to you all in a bit on the United Stand. Thanks everyone for watching and stay safe.